Fat Grape Winery has leased this building off to the right. Darius, if you could stop for just a second. It's a very bulky structure. That used to be known as the Brig when the Navy was here. So if sailors did wrong and they went to the Navy jail, so to speak, that was the Brig. It's built very sturdy. It's got thick walls, and when they checked it out, they thought it was perfect for a winery. So, and you actually can, I believe, go to Fat Grape Winery, and they have a tasting room in there, I believe. Okay. And there's also a vodka distillery there? Okay. So you can see it's alive and well. In all, there's roughly 160 commercial tenants on the island currently. So you can imagine, it's a bustling city here with a lot of different companies. And you'll note some of them as we go on our tour. So the island is alive and well. It's just, even though the Navy base is closed, been closed since 1997. Okay, so we're going to head down here towards what you're going to see off to the left. Oh, hold on for a second here. Darius, sorry. Okay, so off to your left here is the remains, not much left right now compared to what it used to be. This is the Navy soil pile. If you wonder what that is, there's more than one soil pile on the island, and we'll talk about the other one as well. But this is the smaller of the two. This is the Navy's. This is certified clean fill that we use to backfill once we dig holes. So in environmental cleanup, one of the things if you have contaminants in soil, you can use a lot of different technologies depending upon what the site is. But the most often used technology is still the simplest. And you've probably been seeing a lot of that over the years. And it's called dig and haul. We find out where the contaminants are in the soil. They're usually at depth, which means we got to dig. We dig holes, we dig out the soil, we screen it, and then we send it to a landfill. So that is most of what we do when we talk about cleaning up the soil at Hunters Point or at Treasure Island or any of our bases. So what happens when we do that is we are not allowed to leave holes and walk away from the site and consider it closed. We have to backfill them. One of the things that you may know is that it's very difficult to find clean backfill. It has to be tested according to state protocols before we can import it and then use it to backfill a hole that we dug. And the more holes we dig, the more challenging that becomes. Now, we're sort of, in a sense, competing with the city of San Francisco, and you'll see this later. They have a much larger pile because they, for separate reasons we'll talk about a little bit later, they are also stockpiling soil on the island for the future, although that's for redevelopment, not for cleanup. Okay, so moving along here, we're heading up on towards the wastewater treatment plant. If you wonder what this was, these concrete structures, this is the wastewater treatment plant as you're seeing it now was built in phases, but it started construction in 1968. And this wastewater treatment plant is still technically owned by the Navy, but it's operated by the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, PUC. And the license still is currently under the Navy. So we have a joint interest in that, and we talk regularly with them. In fact, they go to our regulatory meetings often and listen to the program and ask questions. But this basically, if you wanted to know where your wastewater goes and how it's processed, whether you're on Yerba Buena Island or Treasure Island, it's at this wastewater treatment plant. Now, eventually, you might have seen this on the poster board. Eventually, they're going to build a new wastewater treatment plant very close to here, but they obviously have to build a new one before they can shut one down because there's an ongoing demand for that never goes away. And that's part of what they'll do for redevelopment in the out years. Okay, now as we continue on, we're coming up on Site 6, and if you can pull out your map, hopefully you have with the stops because it shows you the little blue boxes with site numbers on them, and you should be looking at the little blue box with site number 6.
site 6 for me because I can't get it from where I am.
Yes, also known as South
Okay, so that yard right there.
Okay, so this is site 6. If you could stop right here, Darius, and then a little further up. Okay,